born 40, I want to say 42.
So he's 83. My dad's
Yeah.
also 1942.
Yeah.
What month's his birthday?
His is in July.
Okay, mine's April 10th. Interesting. So how old are you?
I'm 41.
You're 41. So,
Yeah.
so then you 30-ish when you were born. So wasn't an older father. It was a younger father. Relatively, the age that you go through.
Well, I don't mean old as in physically old. I mean, his mind was trained.
Totally get it.
Yeah, his mind was trained by somebody from an older generation.
Which is your grandfather.
Which was my grandfather.
Now, was it like if your father was, we went to dinner tonight and your father's with us, is he a debate guy? Is he a guy that'll sit there quietly? Does he push back? Does he argue? Is he argumentative?
He's not this. No, he's
agreeable?
Not. He's not the same way I am at all. My dad has a very commanding presence, and he's extraordinarily likable. What happens? You go out to dinner with him. You sit down. Within 5 minutes, you want to hear everything he's ever had to say about everything. That's the type of guy he is. The type of guy he's always been. He's a very, very respectable guy and a very respectable guy.
How many of you guys? How many kids did your mom and him have?
He had 2 with my mom. My mom had 2 children from a previous marriage, and then he had 3 from his first marriage.
7 total.
Total.
Okay. So 2, it's from same mom and dad. And are you guys 7 close to each other?
Not really. The ones I was immediately raised with, we are the 4 of us, which would be my mom's 2 children from her previous marriage, and we were raised so closely together. I actually didn't even realize that we were half brother and half sister. It had to be explained to me that
means they did a great job.
Yeah, it had to be explained to me, but when I was 10 or 12, and I still didn't really get it.
Yeah,
I just didn't think of it that way.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So is there a common pattern between the 4 kids that were raised by your father and mother? Like, is there a common thread that somebody would notice on mindset, on, values, on certain principles?
They don't take no shit from nobody.
None of them?
None of them.
So is your dad from Covina, or did your grandpa move from somewhere else to Covina, or was he also
He was
from
raised in Covina.
So your grandpa's also Covina.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so don't take shit from nobody.
Nah, doesn't take any shit from anybody. But also, all of them can comprehensively think. That's the most important part. They don't have presuppositional thinking. Instead, all of us were taught how to get to the heart of an issue very quickly by having this precept understanding that most people, the things that they say, are actually untrue. And they did not come to those thoughts on their own. They came to those thoughts because somebody else gave them to them. Most people can't control their thinking. They don't know how. That's something you've learned. That's not something you're born with. Most people, they don't think their own thoughts, and most of the thoughts that are in their head are put in their head from some other source. Very rarely do you find that people came to a position on their own. It's actually very rare.
So one would argue that and say you came to the positions you have if your parents are Christians. It is true what you're saying is traditionally we will do what our parents will believe in because of values, respect, honor, comfort, certain thing that we recognize, we see. So how do you view yourself as somebody that is that you question things to get to the bottom of it? How do you know that you're actually doing it yourself?
By eliminating presupposition and using logic. Logic has laws, governing laws. And when you eliminate presupposition, you get to the standard of why it is that you have a position. You realize most positions you have are completely unjustified.
Give me a case. Give me an idea. Like, you have a lot of topics that you guys talk about. So
okay,
pick one and just go
Let
through
me give you a
it,
case.
please.
Okay. Why would it be that incest is wrong?
Why would it be that incest is wrong?
Let's say you had 2 brothers. They're twin brothers.
Yes.
And they're in an incestuous relationship.
Okay.
Why is that actually wrong?
Well, if I go get data, and data shows me...
Data has to be interpreted.
Data has to be interpreted.
And so even if you interpret that it has bad outcomes, so what? All relationships have the potential for bad outcomes. What makes it actually wrong?
Tell me.
No, you tell me.
You're asking me the question.
I'm asking you the question.
I go in 2 places. I go one logic. I go one values and principles.
Okay, well, logically.
Then logically, I would go get the data. If I go get the data, and the data shows me that incest produces better high IQ safer communities, job creators, independent, crime is low, incredible society, great inventions, great innovations, then I would say maybe we ought to entertain it.
Okay, but what if it's the case that data shows the opposite of that, but there's just one case. It's just one case of twin brothers doing it. That's it. Just those guys. Is that wrong? Is that wrong of them to do it?
And the data of one twin brother's doing it.
Yeah. You got one set of twin brothers are doing this. Nobody else in the community is. What makes that actually wrong?
From data standpoint, that's a different story. From the value standpoint, I would go to, spiritual, a denomination, non-denominational Christian, and according to my values and principles, that is not the right way to live.
And that's why, sir, I hate the left. You just mapped it out perfectly. This is exactly why I hate leftists with every fiber of my being.
Tell me why.
Because what you just gave me was an attempt at an epistemic justification, right? The knowledge for why this thing is wrong is based on the value set that I have, which I'm going to try to spiritually justify, right? The leftists can't do that. Why? Because they're atheistic by nature and they're cynics by nature as well. They can never give you a justification for why something like that's wrong. So when you ask them a question like that in a debate, they just bite the bullet. It's not wrong.
Without needing to give an argument.
They don't need to give an argument. They just don't think it's wrong. It isn't wrong.
Okay, so let me ask a question, because you're in this thing more than I am,
Sure.
and you're in it on a daily basis. I've been around people for a long time, and I built businesses where I had to attracted people from all walks of life, nationality, ethnicity, it doesn't matter. It was one of the best exercises because I would learn about culture, whether it's the difference between somebody that's Mexican from Michoacan versus a Mexican from Jalisco versus a Mexican from Zacatecas versus, El Salvador versus Guatemalan versus Jews versus, all these different types of things you look at, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and then you look at them like, I meet somebody, I'm like, why do you believe in socialism? Why do you believe in, one time I'm in a dinner with a guy who's about to marry a girl, and we're going out there to learn about her for the first time. He was one of my main players in the company, and I'm sitting there listening to her talk. And we go into this argument of, gay rights is like civil rights. I said, gay rights is civil rights. I said, yeah.